Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to October's Shop My Stash. Pretty crazy. I want to do a purple and green look because I'm going to post this on almost Halloween. I'm going to post this tomorrow, which is Friday, October 29th. And then we'll be done with Halloween content. Not that I posted that much, but I know not everyone celebrates and or likes Halloween, so for those people, it will be done. I'm just gonna prime my face using my Makeup Forever mattifying primer. This is almost done. I've squeezed the life out of it. Hopefully I have enough space on this memory card to film this video because I have a lot of stuff going on and we'll see if my camera craps out on me. And I'm also just going to use my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And now I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I'm going to put that on the back of my hand. And I've been liking recently to put this just on the high points of my face under my foundation. And then I just blend it in with a brush. I go back and forth between doing this and mixing it in with my foundation, but recently I've been doing this a lot. And for foundation, I'm just going to use my Ordinary Coverage Foundation. This has become my just everyday foundation that when I don't need any particular thing, I'm just kind of being around in my house. This has become a go-to. And just blend her in. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do my brows and then I'll be back and then we can start on my eyes. Okay, so I've primed my eyes using my NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base and I've set my lids as well. My brows are done. Let's get into the eyes. So as I just put my finger in this, I'm going to take first of all, I'm going to pop between so many different palettes, so just please accept that now. I'm going to take my Beauty Bay Book of Magic and I'm going to use the shade Enchanted, which is this light purple. And I'm just going to use this as a transition shade. It's pretty light, so I'm going to have to build it up a little bit, and I know there are purples in the Book of Magic palette, but I'm going to use now my Beauty Bay Utopia palette and take the shade Serene because it's just the best, a cool toned purple. I absolutely love this. There's some hair on my eye and I cannot figure out. And I'm going to do a halo eye. I don't know if I already said that, but I'm going to just take the shade and take it on my outer corner and my inner corner and connect it through my crease as you do in halo eyes. I wanted to talk too about, because I think I may have even mentioned this in my September Shop My Stash, but my girlfriend and I, aka I have been forcing her to watch. We've been watching one Halloween / scary movie every night in October. We've taken a few breaks, sometimes with scheduling, with our lives and stuff. It doesn't always work out, but most nights, I'd say majority of nights, we have been watching something and it's been literally, I'm having the time of my life. I absolutely love it. And we're rewatching some things that I've already seen, and a lot of it is new stuff. We started off by watching the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix. That was October 1st. I have to say, if you wanted something to watch just on Halloween, have a marathon or something, or Halloweekend, they're really, really fun. They feel very Halloween teen movies, but they're super seasonally appropriate. They're like have horror elements to them, but they're really not that scary. You know what? I actually think I need to do this step by step on both eyes. Okay. Before I get any further. So I'm gonna just do, I don't know why I decided to just start with this eye alone, but I have to work like both at the same time. I'm just realizing this now before it's too late. I'm going to also use this Utopia palette. I'm gonna take this shade Eden, which is this light green, and I'm gonna use this as a transition shade on this side. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Fear Street, so fun. I mean, I would recommend watching all three. You could probably just watch like the first one if you wanted, but would highly recommend as a Halloween movie. What else? Oh, we watched also I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, because I've been trying to watch more A24 movies. I really like their movies, and I took this month as an opportunity to do that, and I have to say, it's such a good movie. It's not really like scary at all, and it's not even really Halloween themed, but it's honestly probably one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen in my life. So I would honestly recommend everyone to watch it. It's like beautifully shot. It's such a nice movie, and I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time, even though it wasn't like overly scary. And I feel like, okay, first of all, Juvia's placed the Tribe palette, and I'm going to take the shade Tootsie right there and just do the same thing as I did with that darker purple on this side. But what was I saying? Oh yes, and I feel like they perfectly capture what it feels like, or like they evoke the feeling of feeling like slightly creeped out, or like being uneasy in a place that you are unfamiliar with, or in a house that you don't know very well, maybe in the dark, you're like a little bit freaked out. Like they capture exactly what that feels like in the movie. It's such a good movie. We also watched The Black Coat's Daughter, which I didn't like as much, but I think it is like a really good movie as well. I also thought it was like well done. I wouldn't recommend it as highly as I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, but it was good. Maybe that is a little bit more like Halloween appropriate, but it was really fun. We also watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark last night, which was, I mean, I've seen that before, but that's always a good Halloween movie. What else did we watch? To deepen up my purple eye now, I'm going to take the shade of Voodoo from the Book of Magic, and I'm just gonna deepen my crease up. We also, because my girlfriend needed a break from scary movies, we watched Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2, which actually are pretty good. I'm not a animated movie person at all, really, especially like not as an adult, but I will say if you're like really opposed to horror movies, but you want something that's like still Halloween-y, that was a really cute movie as well. I watched Hocus Pocus for the first time, and I gotta say, like, I'm sure if you watched it as a kid, it would be like very nostalgic for you. Obviously, I gotta say, I think I'm gonna leave that one to other people. I don't think it like holds up necessarily to watching it for the first time as an adult. Like, it's definitely Halloween, but not like it didn't become a new favorite. That's all I'm gonna say. But oh, we also watched Haunt, which is, I think, a Shudder exclusive. I think I also talked about before how I I think I'm paying for it now. I got charged on my credit card because I forgot to cancel my free trial, but whatever. The movie Haunt is on Shudder. It's like a Shudder exclusive, and it is set on Halloween. It's like about like a like extreme, you know, haunted house kind of deal. Really good. It's definitely campy and like has a lot of tropes in it, but if you're looking for a movie that's like, it's gonna be like a little gory, a little like more horror-y, pretty like not super scary, but if you're not used to watching horror movies, I think it's probably would be a little bit freaky. Now I'm gonna take Kaleidos Club Nebula with in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist, and take the shade Queen of Blades, this darker green, and use that to just deepen up this eye. Yeah, it might be a little bit freaky if you're not used to watching horror movies, but I absolutely loved it. If you want something that's like scarier and very Halloween themed, would recommend. We haven't watched it yet. I think we're gonna rewatch it though, or I'm gonna force her to rewatch it, or she hasn't seen it. I'm gonna rewatch it. The house is October built. Really, I haven't watched it in a while. I think I watched it in first year of my undergrad, so that was like what, 6 years ago. But it's another one of those like freaky, like extreme haunt movies, and I loved it when I watched it. And there's a second one that I haven't seen, which we will definitely be watching this year, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. I guess let me shout out some of my favorites. I mean, The Conjuring, I know that they're a little bit like kitschy and maybe not the best horror movies in the world. I fucking love the Conjuring movies. I honestly love James Wan. Maybe that's a controversial opinion in the horror watching space, but I don't know, they're just like so fun, and I think he does horror super well, and I like always enjoy watching his movies, even if they're, like I said, maybe not the best. Like they scratch the itch of like horror, and it's not like so bad, because you can get some hits and you can get some extreme misses when you're watching horror movies you haven't seen. Let's see. Oh, I love Grave Encounters. If you can watch Grave Encounters 1 or 2, so good. Such a good found footage movie. Like seriously, one of the best. One of my favorite horror movies. I've seen them so many times. And then I'm just gonna blend the edges of these out. Creep, not really Halloween. It's more of like a psychological thriller, even, I would say. But it's like, for me, I don't even know if I could rewatch it because it like is really unsettling. So if you wanted to watch something like more like that, I would say it's so underrated. It's such a good movie. It's so good. So definitely would recommend that as well. Oh, we also watched the movie His House on Netflix, which is, I had never seen it before, and I thought it was so well done. I would really, really recommend watching that. I think it's such a good, one of the better horror movies I've seen, especially recently. It's so, so good. I will say that I was like, wow, this is such a great, like, movie, blah, 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 like, and then my girlfriend was like, this is the plot of every Nollywood, like, horror movie I've ever seen. So maybe it won't be as poignant for you if you watch a lot of Nollywood movies. I don't know, but that was her commentary on it. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly cut my crease and I'll be right back. Okay, so I want to say that this eye got a little bit fucked up, okay? But I think I kind of managed to bring it back a little bit, fingers crossed. Just so you know, I did a little bit of blending just to save us all some time. Alright, what do I want to do on this eye? I just don't know. So my two options are Prue from the Lunar Beauty Moon Spell and the Space Oasis from Kaleidos. This is more just like purple. This has kind of like a blue shift to it. So I'm gonna take Prue from the Lunar Beauty Moonspell in the middle of my purple eye. This is a little bit sheer, so it's probably gonna take a little bit of building. And what was I think I was still fucking talking about horror movies, wasn't I? I don't know who gave me the authority to be the recommender of horror movies, but I will say I've watched a lot because they're my fave. I know there's a lot of hype about the movie Veronica. I've seen so many things being like, oh my god, it's the scariest movie that I've ever seen. Like, people can't even watch the whole thing. It's really not that scary. Like, it's scary, but it's not that scary. So if you want like a haunting, like possession type movie that's like pretty scary, it's good. Like, don't be like so scared of it because it's not that scary, but it is like a fun, scary movie. What else? If you want like a home invasion movie, those aren't my favorite, but Your Next is super fun, as well as Hush is good, even though like there is some issues with Hush. They depicted like the main character is deaf in the movie, and they, you know, a non-deaf actress played it, but otherwise, other than that, it is like a really well done movie. And now I'm going to take, again, Club Nebula, and I'm going to take the shade Firefly in my green eye. The movie Cadaver also is a really good movie and so underrated. I feel like I never hear anyone talk about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't watch that this month. I watched that a couple months ago, but it was really, really good. Those would be like my top recommendations. I mean, there's only so much time between now and Halloween, so. But if you watch this before well, not even before Halloween, but if you watch this and you have a favorite horror movie, please let me know. I'm literally always in the mood to watch a horror movie, no matter what time of year it is. My girlfriend, not so much, but I am, so I would love to know. I'm always down to hear people's recommendations because, like I said before, you know, you find some hits and you find a lot of misses. So if you like, I find recommendations from other people is always good to try to get right at the good ones. I'm just going to blend a touch more onto my lid. Then I'm just going to take each of these shimmer shades on my finger and intensify them. For my brow bone, I'm just going to take the shade Lo-Fi from the Kaleidos Escape Pod palette just because I have it in front of me. Not an essential step, but... And now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That's too much. To do my base, the rest of my base, before I do my lower lash line. For my concealer, I'm going to use the Ordinary Concealer. I always think it has a name, but the name is just Concealer. I just do a little bit on the back of my hand and just put it all over my face. What are your guys' favorite concealers as well? Because I feel like I'm going to use up the concealers I have. And then I want to I don't know, I felt like I haven't tried a new concealer in a while. Maybe I'll use buy the new Kosas one because I feel like I hear so many people talk about it. But I would love to know your recommendations. And now I'm just spot concealing using my NARS soft matte complete concealer. Now I'm going to use my Danessa Myricks Cream Bronzer, Power Bronzer in the shade Light. I've been absolutely loving this. I typically don't do my powder on camera, but I figured today I'll just do it. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Sweep and Lock Translucent Setting Powder. I got this maybe in September. I don't love it, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely not my favorite powder. And there's not that much in here, to be honest. So I feel like I'm gonna be done it soon. But I wouldn't recommend it. And I don't typically let that sit for very long. I just put that like under my eyes, on my chin, on my forehead, and then under my cheekbones. And then I take a glowy powder. This is just the Hourglass one that I am trying to use up but won't be done until I dye. And then I just wipe it off. And then I take a like pressed powder, and I sometimes use loose powder, not super often. Oops, this is my foundation brush. This is just the Rimmel one, the Stay Matte powder, and then I just press this over the rest of my face. And then I also go back in with the Hourglass powder or any like glowy powder that I have and just go back. Take this all over my face. So for my lower lash line, I'm gonna do like opposites again. So I'm gonna do green under this eye, and I'm just gonna take the same shade. So I'm taking that shade Tootsie from the Juvia's Place palette and just running this all along my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna blend it out. And then I'm taking Queen of Blades from the Club Nebula palette and just deepening this up. And then I'm gonna blend it out using the shade Eden from the Beauty Bay Utopia palette. And then I'm gonna take the shade Serene from the Beauty Bay Utopia palette as well and just put this all along this lower lash line. And I'm taking Voodoo from the Beauty Bay Book of Magic, using that to deepen this lower lash line. And then I'm taking Enchanted from the Book of Magic palette as well, and then just blending this all out. Before I do my inner corner, I'm gonna take the shade Hex from the Book of Magic, which is just a matte black. And I'm going to use this to deepen my outer and my inner corners on both my top and my bottom lid, my top lid and my lower lash line. I'm gonna leave the center of my lower lash line without the black. And then I'm gonna take each respective shimmer, so the green, and put that on my lower lash line in the center. And then the purple. And then lastly, oh my god, I'm so extra. I'm gonna do some fun inner corners because we might as well. So for this eye, I'm going to take Shine by SD Reserve number 5. And then I'm just gonna put this on here. Alright, my camera cut off, so I'm back. And now for this inner corner, I'm gonna take Shine by SD Reserve number 6. It'll work. So I promise now that is it for the eyes right now. I'm going to now finish up my face and then be done. I'm gonna contour using my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in medium. This is actually almost done. Like, I'm gonna be done it soon. So that is exciting. I've literally had this for like maybe 3 or 4 years, using it every day. And then I'm gonna bronze using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. That I'm trying to use up. I actually think I'm making progress on it. I feel like such a panner now. I'm gonna spray my face using the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. I've been loving this. For blush, I feel as though perhaps I should keep it a little bit more neutral. So I'm gonna use this really old MAC blush in the shade Harmony. I've been reaching for this a lot recently, especially this past month when I've been doing a little bit more like great, like not crazy looks, but looks where for once in my life I feel as though I want to have maybe not a super intensely bright blush. So I find that it gives me something, but it doesn't really add like a ton of anything that's gonna like super clash. And then we have Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb, which is the most beautiful highlighter ever. And I like to do this before or after blush rather. I'm gonna put a little brow gel through my brows. This is the Essence Make Me Brow in the shade Soft Brownie Brows. And finally, do some Freck for some freckles, and then I will see you on the other side with lashes and lips on, my friends. All right, everyone, this is it. This is the look done. I have to say I really love how it turned out. I even put on a regular shirt so that we could get the full impact. And on my lips, I used, do I even need to say it, the same lip combo that I've been doing like nonstop for the past few months. Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil and Endless Cacao blended out with NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Sandstorm with Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb and Diamond Milk over the top. And my lashes are a new style from Boldface that I've never tried. This is the style Just For You. I like it a lot. They're very like wispy and they're really pretty. They're not super overpowering. They look like more dramatic, I feel like, in the box then they look like on the eyes. They're super comfortable. I'm a fan. Honestly, I've yet to try any lashes from Boldface that I haven't loved. These were sent to me, but I will 100% be reordering from them when I've used all the lashes that I have up. And that is all that I have to say. It basically turned out exactly as I envisioned, which is super gratifying. And I don't know, this was a very successful Shop My Stash. I do have to say that Shop My Stashes are always super fun for me, and I hope that you guys enjoy watching them as well. I hope everyone has a great Halloween, whether or not you celebrate or enjoy it. And for those who don't, I'm sure you'll be happy that this month is coming to an end. Let me know, like I said, what you guys will be watching and or doing for Halloween, or if it's just a regular night for you. Are you gonna dress up? I probably won't. We'll probably just watch movies and chill. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!